We're 3 seconds in with no dropped frames. Go, Time Warner, go. You can do it. I believe in you. All right. Are we up? Are we live? Here we are. All right. So check this out before we get started. I'm almost done building my little Real News Inc. setup here. So I got my tripod. So this is a tripod that you can also convert into a monopod, so you can carry it around like this. See? I gotta tighten one of these. There we go. So I have my phone, which I can live stream from. This is the S7. I got my dual channel microphone preamp over here. I have my Sennheiser shotgun microphone over here. Now and I got my monitoring over here. I just got to get an app on Android to monitor from. The last two pieces of this setup, the last two pieces I need, are the two wireless receivers. So I'm going to be plugging in this So this is going to be the microphone that I use to capture what's going on in front of me, and I'm going to be using this microphone here. But I'm going to be putting a wireless receiver right here. I got the Sennheiser CA2 mount. So this is two mounts over here. So I actually have two of these mounts that have a 1/4 inch on the bottom, in addition to a cold shoe, and each one has 3 cold shoe mounts on it that you could plug all this crap into. So this is gonna be newsworthy. And I have 2 wireless mic receivers, so I'm gonna have one for mine, but I'm also gonna have another for an interview mic. So let's say I want to unplug this thing, and Jess is going back and forth with somebody, but she's farther away from the camera. I'm gonna have an interview mic. I'm gonna have this just handheld wireless microphone, and I can swap them out really easily over here, because this, in addition to having XLR inputs, it also has 1/8 inch inputs, and those receivers have 1/8 inch outputs. So this is sexy. This is fucking beautiful. And external battery, that's gonna go in my pocket if I can't mount it on here. I got a 50,000 milliamp hour battery that can charge this. It claims it can charge an S7 11 times over. Even if that's bullshit, even if it can only charge it 5 times over, we've got sound. So and also I have a 50 gigabyte Verizon account here, so I can use 50 gigabytes a month. I can upgrade it if need be, and this is not the accounts where they throttle you. That's 50 gigabytes that I can just, I can use that all up at once, and there's no throttling of that. And for the amount of money I'm paying, there fucking better not be any throttling for that. But yeah, this is cool. I'm gonna eventually do a video showing you how to set up something like this, because I really think that mobile live streaming is this is going to be a thing. I mean, as the modern news media just continues to fail and misrepresent everything and just create conflict, there's going to be a market for actual, what I call hard reporting. So not opinion reporting, but actual hard reporting, where you show up and you just record what was said and what took place. And I don't know, this is kind of exciting to me. This idea for some reason has me more excited than board repair. But look, you can put the thing on the desk. Let's check that out on the desk. Can I rotate this shitty tripod the Sony's on? Get the microscope out of the way for a second. You can see this is pretty sexy. I gotta say, this is cool. I'm liking this thing. You can rotate. You do this. So I'm gonna do a couple of tests later with this. The battery didn't come in yet. The battery has not come in yet. The wireless receiver, because I have a wireless receiver for the Sennheiser microphone over here. So I have a wireless receiver for the Sennheiser microphone, but it's, the receiver for this is a huge box that you have to plug into a wall. I don't want to carry that. So I'm getting a wireless receiver for this DPA microphone that's going to go over here. I'm going to get the 50,000 milliamp battery, probably in that same shipment, and then I'm going to get another wireless receiver that goes over here, so I could have the microphone. So let's say, actually I just got the stand for it as well. So I should be able to plug into the microphones they have at the state legislature. But just in case they don't have it set up properly, or their stuff doesn't work, or I'm not able to patch in for whatever reason, I got this little mic stand, which I can put up on there while the lobbyists are talking. And I got the wireless microphone that's going to go right here. And you can just take that out, give it to other people, carry it around. But yeah, this is going to be part of my next project, which is Real News Inc., the opposite of fake news. This is the opposite of fake news. All right, where do I put this thing now so I don't run over it? Yeah, this thing it does take up the thing is, it feels really light. I gotta say, it feels really light. I should put links in the description for how you made this, but this thing is so cool. I can't wait to get the rest of it. Once I got the wireless receiver, this is gonna be sick. I'm gonna test it around the city, maybe visit a couple of protests. I'm kind of debating whether or not it would be fun to visit some protests. I think it may be fun to visit some protests. I am like a quarter of a mile from Trump Tower. Either way, let's get onto the board that we left off on yesterday. Let's go back to the board we left off on yesterday. So this is the board where we replaced the SMC. Still dead. We plugged in the power supply. We put the power supply on 17 volts. For the DC in rail, we plugged in the charger, and we still don't get a green light. Next video, Lewis in hospital, severe leg burns. 50,000 milliamps isn't that bad. What do you need? What can I get you? Oh, you got it. You got it. You got it. Let's see. So, we're going to get our voltage ready. What is PP bus G3 hot? PP bus G3 hot is 12.5, 12.54. Huh. But every now and then it goes down. So let's see. Charger DC in is 17 volts on one side, but then 5 volts on the other. All right. So let's check out the schematic and see what's going on here. I'm kind of curious. Shay Barber says, thanks for the ultrasonic. I'm glad you got it. Hey, look at that. Crest actually managed to ship something to somebody without fucking it up. Wow. Oh, trust me, I'm very surprised. Oh, I'm quite surprised there. Wow. That's something, yeah. Anyway, what do we have in chat? Did you fix your cock? No, my cock is dead, sadly. Cock is still dead. I'm not sure what I want to cover, but it makes me want to go out and cover stuff. It makes me, that setup makes me want to go out and cover some protests. Or just general crazy shit that goes on in the world. But, I don't know, hard news reporting. Like, I always say that news sucks nowadays, but why not be a part of the change you want to see in the world rather than just complain about it? That is that is my life motto. So I should start living up to that. I think it's going to start with the state legislature, but after that, the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. Okay, we're just going to take all of my tax returns and employee paperwork out of my PDF reader before we do the fucking screen share. And here we go. Ready, set, bam. All right, so in order to get a green light, we need charger AC OK to be high. In order for charger AC OK to be high, charger AC in needs to be high. In order for charger AC in to be high, meaning about 4 volts, this voltage divider over here of R7010 and R7011 is going to take the 16 volts that comes from the adapter, and it's going to deliver it to charger AC in. We have the voltage over here. We checked that yesterday. Now, in order for this chip to work, it needs to receive voltage on the charger DC in pin, which is pin 2. There is a 20 ohm resistor that sits between the adapter power and charger DC in. Now I have 16 volts or 17 volts on this side of the resistor, but then I have something along the lines of 5 volts on this side. A bad U7000 can drag that down. We've replaced that U7000 several times. It was quite nasty. And I have a feeling that R7005 is now going to be more than 20 ohms. So let's check it out and see if R7005 is more than 20 ohms. We're just going to turn the power supply off, unplug the charger. I feel bad that Jessa has so much equipment to carry. Question, how much use do you get from the bent Hacko tip? Is there an average use before you replace them? I replace them when I've dropped them on the floor so many times that they're unusable. But they usually just work forever. The thing is, this station, unlike the FM202, this has a sleep feature. So see this? This little Morse code. This is not for Morse code. This is not so Jason can go. This is actually for sleep. So when I press it down, it turns the station down at 200 or 300 degrees. Now this station is so fast at heating back up again that it doesn't really matter. Like by the time I get the iron from here to here, it's back up to temperature. So that keeps the tips from getting ruined. Whereas the old stations, if you set it to 800 degrees, it would be at 800 degrees all the time, and that was not a good thing. So that being said, let's take a look at R7005 here. I might as well show you how I bring it up on the board view, just in case we have any new viewers. So there are board views, which I can't show you where you get because we get them from dark corners of the internet that hopefully, if this law passes, I can start sharing, but at the moment, we are sadly not allowed to. Oh my God, the phone just never stops ringing. All right. One moment. Commercial break. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Somebody called in sick. Okay, so we go down here, and let's see, R7005. So one of the biggest misconceptions was I just thought that people were geniuses that knew where everything was, because most sites were selling the schematic without the board view, which is not the case. That's not the case at all. That's just, I didn't have this software. Which I linked to below at Open Board View, and I didn't have the board view files, which I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to find yourself. So R7005 is down there. So now let's see what I get. I forgot to put a commercial in there. That would have been smart for the commercial break. All right, so the resistance is supposed to be 20 ohms, and I get 2.9 kiloohms. So that's 2,900 ohms. That's very far off from 20. So let's. Why does something drop every time I move something? Yeah, we'll figure that out later. So let's get to replacing R7005 and go from there, shall we? Ugh, what a nasty board. What a nasty looking board. What a nasty board. So I'm gonna get something from my wire to go under here so the board stays nice and steady. Get this in focus. Beautiful focus. Focus, mofo. There we go. Lewis, where is your cock? It's broken. It's up there, but it's broken. Be a part of the change you want to see in the world. This was Gandhi's motto. Yep. Again, I always complain that the news sucks, that the news is BS and misinformation. And this is long before that whole Trump fake news crap. I mean, this is something that I've been going over articles on this channel forever, and just the misinformation. Because here's the thing, every time you have knowledge of a subject, I want you to, like, every time you read the news and you have genuine knowledge of a subject, or at least this is the way it is for me. Anytime I have genuine knowledge of a subject and I read the news, I realize they get it wrong. Which leads me to wonder, when I don't know about a subject, how often am I simply assuming that they know what they're talking about just because I'm misinformed on the subject? And how damaging is the further misinformation? But what really gets me isn't so much that, it's that people jump to the opinion pieces in official news without getting any of the hard reporting down pat. You know, again, because the hard reporting is the boring part. Like, who said what? Let's listen to what they had to say. Let's not take what they... Let's not take what they said out of context. Let's, to just create further controversy. This is stuff that's hard to do, but I think it may be fun to try. I think it most definitely may be fun to try. Drop use. Yeah, this program was sponsored by Nobody Insert 5-minute commercial here. Yes. For any of you who have criticized me for selling out, do realize that when we go to a commercial break, it is silent and blank. And this is one of those things. This is one of those things where people go like, how do you start board repair? How do you start a business? Or how do you start working on audio electronics? Or how do you record music? What book did you read? What class did you take? Who mentored you? Blah, blah. It's like, fuck all that. Do you think I took a class? I just went on Amazon and started buying shit. Half of the stuff that I bought was wrong. I had to return it. I didn't know how it worked. I'm figuring this shit out as I go. I called the Nebraska State Legislature and said, I want to show up and record this thing. And they go, well, we usually have transcripts available. And it's like, transcripts? Really? And I said, I want to apply for a press pass. And they said, who are you with? And I'm like, Rossman Group News. It's like, you know, how do you start? It's like, you fucking start. You just start, do shit. I'm like this close to the point where I'm just going to start deleting every single comment on the channel that says, how do you start? I want to do this. How do I start? What book do I read with them? I got very close to the point where I'm just going to start deleting all that stuff. We're just like, there has to be a video that defines the importance of just starting. Here we go, my flux. Need my flux. Do I know how to report news? Fuck no. Do I know how to live stream from the middle of nowhere? Not at all. But what the hell? If you want to do something, there's no time like the present to start. And if you're not hurting anybody or screwing anybody over, then by all means, feel free to start without having a clue what you're doing. That's what I do. Okay. It's a great way to live life. Okay, let's make sure we don't have a short to ground on the other side. Because that's the thing. If this chip over here is broken and shorts to ground, then it's going to take the power that it gets from this resistor and short it to ground, and then that resistor will blow again. So let's just make sure we don't have a short to ground on the side of the resistor. And it looks like it's well over 4.5 kilo ohms. That's fine. So at this point, we can turn it on, see what we're getting. Lewis, would you repair my boss's iPhone 6? I will get the data from it for $300 to $400. I will not fix it to be used as a phone again. There are many, many places that will do that. There are many places that will. It's just I'm not one of them. Hector Pedrosas donates $5 and says, "Thank you so much. I enjoy watching your stream." Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. I hope you get something good out of it. I have horizontal lines across the screen. Okay, let's turn on power. The resistor didn't blow up when I applied power. That's a good thing. I have horizontal lines across screen and I see no damage on touch connector, so I'm presuming it's the Chestnut IC. Which phone do you have, Michael? We're going to plug it in, and there's still no green light. This board is very close to a dumpster. It's dangerously close to going in a dumpster. You can see this little hole over here is part of my motivation to throw it in the dumpster. Alright, so let's see. So over here, okay, I'm getting the 16 volts that I need on the other side of the resistor now. Let's see, is charger AC okay high? It is, and it's not moving back and forth anymore. Before, charger AC okay was moving back and forth, but now it's not. What bitrate do you use for OBS? I'm using 14.5 megabit per second right now, and for some reason I have 0 drop frames. I upped it, because before I was using 8 megabit, I went back up to 14.5, just to see if I can do it. These are the settings I use in Open Broadcaster. So here, I'll just put them on screen so that you can see them. So for output, I use CBR, 14.5 megabit per second. I use X264. The video is at 1080p, 59.94 frames a second. Profile is high. CPU usage is very fast. If I go to faster, I start getting drop frames even though I'm not using more than 30 or 40% CPU. So I don't do that just because I don't want to destroy my system. I don't know why it does that, but who the hell knows. And, yep, those are settings. So, okay, so charger AC OK is high. Charger AC OK is here. And that's constantly high. So now let's go to U6901, because that's where that's going to follow to. So let's watch. Pay attention. Pay attention. All right, so here we have charger AC OK. So that signal was going up and down before. Now it's not. Now we're going to follow charger AC OK. Charger AC OK equals SMC BC ACOK. So let's just turn off this noisy stuff and go up there. SMC BC ACOK goes into this logic gate. If 3.42 volts is present and SMC BC ACOK is present on input, we will get 3.42 volts on output. So let's check pin 4 of U6901 to make sure that it's there. So pin 4 of U6901. U6901, where's pin 4? Pin 4 is going to be over here. And we're going to see what we get. How do I start building websites? Wix. I'm pretty sure that they're the only ad that plays on my video. 3.4. All right. And I'm pretty sure we can assume at this point that that's making its way over to U6901. I mean U6900 on the other side. And let's see. What do we get on the other side? So over here, you'll see that U6900 exists to provide power to U6900. So we have pin 1, should have 3.42 volts. Adapter send should be 2.9 to 3 volts. And then the sys1 wire line should be 2.9 to 3 volts. Of course, you're not going to see the signal on here on the multimeter, but that just shows me that there's something present. So let's take a look at the board view. That's unconnected. That's ground. Okay, so SMC BC ACOK. Is that making its way? It is. And just to make sure this stuff is present, adapter sense, it is. And it is. So at this point, I'm going to unplug my charger, charge it back in, plug it back in. It's most likely the SMC, which is what we replaced yesterday. However, do recall that the SMC was taken off of a donor board, which may very well have been a board that was thrown away because it had a bad SMC. Also realized that yesterday's reballing sucked and was sad, pathetic waste because I wanted to head to the gym and get dinner before my favorite restaurant closed. So this board's probably going in the trash. Yeah, this board's probably going in the yeah. It has a hole in it. I really don't want to like go through a bunch of SMCs to find out that. All right, so let's take the charger under the desk and unplug it and plug it back in, because sometimes the chargers get fucked up when they're plugged into boards that have holes in them over and over and over and over and over again. Because that could always be the case. You never know. So now I have to see which one is that charger and hope I don't unplug my regular computer while pulling. If stream dies, you'll know that I pulled in the wrong wire. Okay, unplug. Plug? Light? Of course not. Fucker. Tap SMC. Next. GTFO. GTFO. Alright, that board wasted enough of my time. Next. Let's read some chat and then get over to the next board repair. What is he doing in Nebraska? Apple is going to be testifying against the right to repair bill in Nebraska. And I just want to make sure to capture every single reason that they give that the right to repair bill should not go through. And I, if possible, would like to give my own testimony. But what's very important is capturing why they think the bill is bullshit. Why are they against it? Again, a lot of people don't believe me when I talk about the arguments that they propose. So I figure it's best if you hear it from their own lobbyist mouth themselves. So I think covering that in Nebraska will be cool. Again, the spending like almost $2,000 on video equipment, hotel, and plane was not cool, but it's going to be fun. I know it's going to be worth it. Like the moment that he says, the moment that they say something along the lines of, "Oh, your screen is cracked and you may cut yourself on it, so we have to protect you from it." Like I know that it will have been worth the entire trip to know that that was captured on camera. What did I just do? Ah, I lost the chat window. Here were we? How about iCloud bypass? I don't help people make stolen phones work again. I know you didn't steal it, your friend stole it, your customer stole it, somebody stole it and sold it to I don't care. I just don't care. I don't care. I know that makes me an asshole, but I'm not. No EFI, no password unlocks, no iCloud unlocks, no. None of it. None of it. Lewis, I get green light, fan spin, sleep light, but no chime or backlight. CPU V-core is present, SMC bypass just turns fans on full and same restore. You haven't told me what computer you have. So I have no idea. I would say that there's corrosion under the PCH, but again, I don't even know if your machine has a PCH, because I don't know what machine it is. But most likely corrosion under the PCH, not a bad PCH, corrosion under the PCH, which can be fixed with an ultrasonic cleaning or a slight reflow. But again, I don't know what the original damage. There's not enough information there to provide a proper answer. Lewis, for the first time since watching you, I actually got served an ad unrelated to Wix. I don't believe you. That's impossible. I'm wondering what your thoughts is on repair cost if/when rights repair bill comes through. Do you think prices will go up or down due to competition? I'm not sure. Again, people are fixing stuff anyway. It's just that it's harder. You're not sure. If you just lost the password and have any proof of actual ownership, Apple should be able to help you. Yes, but when people have proof of ownership, they don't wind up asking me in live chat. All right, so we're getting... Let's get the next machine, because that one is just a pile, a steaming pile, and we need something better to work on. So what comes next? All right, we're going to get the next board. Stay tuned for our commercial break. Wrong.
Wrong. You can go. I'm fat. You see?
I'm fat.
You can go.
I'm fat. At least yours goes away in 2 months.
Yes.
I'm stuck like this for the rest of my life.
Baby, oh my God. Smile. It's yours? Down.
Oh, don't worry about that.
No, I think it's mine.
Say hello to your chat audience. Muted! Whoops. Whoops. Right to repair the sound. Why am I trying to read this while working? Someone says you have illegal workers. I have legal immigrant workers. With payroll, insurance, and everything. How much of your skill is divided between electronic knowledge and between having the schematic drawing? I don't understand the question. I have schematic drawings and I have electronic knowledge. There's no real divide. It's just like I have both. It's not like I can only have one of one and the other, like some of one and some of the other. You know, like I have so much skill that I'm going to ignore pages 40 through 70 in the manual. Like there's not really a divide. I guess I have both. Wow, that person is fat. Not fat. Pregnant. There is a big difference. Fat is me. See, fat is something that doesn't go away. Pregnancy is something that goes away when you poop out the baby. The cock needs live repair. Have you looked into becoming an authorized reseller of Hacko products? I have not. I'm sticking to the Amazon thing because, well, A, Hacko's never gotten back to me when I've asked, so F them on that. But B, the stuff is so cheap that it's kind of, there's not much room to really make money selling it. Reselling anything, I probably wouldn't get much business considering there are people out there willing to make like $2 a sale. And the other thing is most people are always asking me, Louis, this Hacko, this station is $200. That's too expensive. That's like 10 years of salary. I don't want to buy it. So, I mean, there's half of my questions are, Louis, I see what you recommended, but I want cheaper. So, yeah, gross. So I wouldn't really want to stock stuff. Like the only thing that makes the Crest deal worthwhile is that it is drop shipped. So I don't have to stock stuff and then wait months and months for it to sell for a measly profit. However, what sucks is that Crest never has any of their own crap in stock, which I didn't figure out until I took people's orders and tried to buy stuff from Crest. And but that is a story in and of itself. $100K a year to become a Hacko distributor. Yeah. And again, it's like you have to sell 100K. And the thing is, a lot of those places, they usually start you out at a crappier discount until you start selling a lot. But you can't sell a lot with the crappy discount without making no money, which means a year of doing a lot of work to make no money to earn the right to sell stuff as a low profit. Nah. Folk. Don't make dollars, it don't make sense, as my friend's mother says. So, let's go over this board and see if we can get it to make dollars and cents. Ugh, gross. What a gross motherboard. What a disgusting, disgusting, nasty motherboard. BIOS? I don't even know what that thing is for. I honestly have to look it up. This is a... I don't know what that thing's for. This is a 3209, so this is an antique. This is all the way back in 2012. Back when people still thought the world was flat. Back when you could die from just a cold. This board is so old. Ridiculously old. Alright, so. Let's see. I guess the first thing we should do is start cleaning this crap, but hey. That doesn't look like water. That looks like flux. No, that's probably water. No, I shouldn't be blaming for no reason. Alright, so let's see what these areas are for. What's up, Mobile Fix? I'm not getting much in the way of notifications when Lewis streams. That's their way of trying to shut me down and say that I'm fake news. But we are real news. We do real board repair and offer real news. There is no fake news here. What is this? The Casey Neistat Network? I mean the CNN? I mean the... Oh, whoops. Did I just say that on recording? We are real news, baby. Alright, so let's open up a board view and a schematic for this thing. And get started. I think it's this one. Here we go. Alright, so now you can see the microscope and you can also see the board view on screen. So I want to try to find this little cluster of resistors and see what this stuff is for. So we got to kind of try to match up what's going on here. So over here, yes, and I know the camera is slow. For some reason, Open Broadcaster fucks up when the camera is on with the screen capture. No, it's not a video. Video drivers doesn't do it, and no, that little setting when you're choosing what to do for window capture doesn't fix it. But look at this. This is this little spider-like thing. So we have a little spider thing over here, and the next little spider thing we have the cluster of resistors and caps. So PP1V05 SO to ground, that's not really important. PCH SATA 3 comp. That's probably something related to the drive. I don't really care about that right now. SPI clock. This is very important, and this matters a lot. So that resistor being nasty is going to be most likely what's causing it to not turn on. So R5111. Let's see what that's for. Let me just change views before I go to the board view so I don't alt-tab into something that I shouldn't. Crap, I forgot the resistor value, so I have to alt-tab. Okay, R5111. Go back here. I gotta figure out how to make open board view open in a damn window. I gotta always remember. Okay, so that's a resistor in the SPI bus line. So that's where the BIOS is gonna talk to the PCH or CPU. So see, this here is U1800. That's the PCH, which is also, it performs the functions of the North Bridge and the South Bridge. And that goes, this goes to this resistor, which then goes here, which goes to U6100, which is the BIOS chip. So that's an area of high interest. So we're going to keep that in mind. Most likely our fuck up is related to this, and also the fact that we have corrosion on the BIOS area. Not surprising. This over here, let's see what this is for. Because even though this looks 10 times nastier, this may actually be something that's not critical. So let's go over to that area and see what's going on over there. I gotta get a third monitor for chat. This is Thunderbolt. Oh, fuck Thunderbolt. Who gives a shit? Fuck Thunderbolt. This is a 5-year-old 13-inch air. Moving on. Okay, what's this over here? This is JTAG Thunderbolt Power Enable. Yeah, fuck you. Don't care about you. Thunderbolt can suck it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about Thunderbolt. You don't even turn on yet. I don't give a shit about Thunderbolt. We can fix Thunderbolt when we see that this turns on. U7400. This is for CPU vCore, which I don't care about because it doesn't turn on. So, as you can see, and again, this is an important lesson here. This looks absolutely disgusting. This looks absolutely disgusting. This looks absolutely disgusting. And this looks teeny tiny. Could be better, but not really that bad. But when you look at it in context, when you look at what each one of those areas is for, the area that is the least damaged is actually the one that's causing the machine to be dead. Whereas the areas that are the most damaged are actually areas that don't matter at all. So let's go and prove my theory correct. I'm going to grab a 3209 board. I'm going to try to read live chat while grabbing a board. I don't know how the hell I'm going to do that. And we'll go from there. Let's see, what do we have here? Holy shit, 75 euros from TGM41Z. Nice one, Lewis, for teaching the world about electronics repair. As somebody who has set up their own business, you're an inspiration. Treat yourself and the others in the shop to some good food or drinks one night. You all deserve it for the work you do. Thank you. Holy crap. Okay. I could get, you know what? I know I have that little button that says don't donate, but I could get used to this YouTube donate feature on chat. Wow. Thank you. That is really awesome. I'm glad that this stuff has helped you. I hope it continues to help you. I hope you'll watch on March 9th when we stream the right to repair legislation. Is that actually repairable? Yes, it will be. You'll see. Some still think the world is flat. Check YouTube. No. I try not to check YouTube. It makes me angry. I don't want to read. I don't want to check the world is flat channels. Please don't make me. What do you think the chances are of finding a 2011 airboard in that pile?
Oh god. What do you need it for? SMC?
Just some resistors around the BIOS area. Maybe some Thunderbolt circuitry if I'm feeling particularly charitable.
There's a 30, it's a 30, okay.
See, I have no dropped frames so far. People say stream buffering. However, I still have 0 dropped frames. I've gotten many dropped frames at 9 megabits sometimes. What are you looking for? Maybe we can trade.
The SSD? The August
They've- There's no 3209 board here. Wait a second. No, you're not a 3209. I have to dig under my desk. Don't make me dig under my desk. Don't make me. Ah, this is... How does Lewis not know the difference between some random foreign money sign and some other random foreign money sign? Because I don't use them and I don't care about them and I don't trade on currency exchange markets. So, yeah, I fix motherboards and I'm a hi-fi stereo enthusiast. I don't know every single foreign currency symbol. It's not something. It's like, how do you not know this? It's like, because it has no bearing on my day-to-day life. hasn't in the past and probably won't ever into the future. How do you not know this? Alright, let's dig. Dig deep. Something to this ancient. The 3437 and the 00165 are almost the same board, and they were used from 2013 to the present. So those have been being used for like 4.5 years now. So that's worth having a lot of. But the 3209 board was used for a year, if that. Wasn't very popular. There we go. I found one. Listen to that ASMR. Turn on. That's some beautiful noise. Definitely something to go to sleep to. Okay, it seems YouTube has no ability to handle this bitrate. Okay, I cave. But for the record, I have 0 drop frames. That's all YouTube's fault. Okay, lowered bitrate by 5 megabit. Better? If it ain't better now, then that means that I'm just getting trolled by YouTube and Time Warner. Probably. I would say more YouTube than Time Warner in this case. It's probably going to look crappier now, but I guess this is as good as it's going to get with Lewis fixed stream. Impossible. Impossible. Just so you can see, I'm not making this up. I've got 0 dropped frames for the entirety. So that's, for once, it's actually on YouTube's end and not my internet. Or CPU. $1 from Patrick Sinawi. Thank you. IASP is hacking the stream, bruh. Tim YOHB hashtag. Alright. Lewis, the stream is fucked and we are not lying. That's the problem. Unfortunately, so often people in chat are. You know how many times you told me there's a spider on my shoulder? Imagine if I turned around every time the chat said there was a spider on my shoulder. I mean, there's just, it's a lack of trust. These things get built up over time. This is some nasty, nasty stuff that's cooking on the board here. We need more heat. More heat. These really don't want to come off. Jeez. Alright. So it's interesting. So I think YouTube really does top out at around 9 megabit. If you try to stream over 9 megabit, you get crap results. I tried a few different speed test websites. I never try speed test because I know that Time Warner's probably giving them priority. So I tried a couple of speed test websites. Okay. It's on. Alright, so let's get this tinned. Yeah. There's a shoulder on your spider. You're not tricking me again. Trick me once. That's bad enough. I mean, trick me once, shame on me. There's not even a shame on you for that one when I got tricked into thinking there was a spider on me. It's never gonna happen again. So once this is done, the BIOS should be able to communicate with the PCH. Jesus, this stuff is small. Tell me that board is missing this. I will scream if this board is missing that. No, it's not. It was just almost desoldered. Nice. I think somebody's been here already. Alright, replacement board. Now usually I just steal from the donor board while the board I'm putting them on is still in the microscope. I'm not doing that here because it's just really hard to see that shit. And it's also in this place where there's just... This little section right under the CPU is always a very confusing and fatiguing pattern. So it's very easy to get lost there if you don't have a point of reference. The resonance just about made my ears bleed. Huh? What happened, Paul? What? This is... Sadly... Chris, I showed that in the beginning. I mean, MobiFix here. I'll show you one more time, just because you're the best moderator that I could wish for. Here. Ready? It's missing one piece. Yeah, so I've got the phone on the bracket that keeps coming loose. Mic preamp with two mic inputs. Shotgun microphone. Tripod, which converts into a monopod. And then I'm going to have my wireless receiver over here for this microphone, and I'm going to have another wireless receiver that I can swap out with this thing that goes here so that I can have an interview microphone. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. This is Do you plan to do more teaching videos, like how to check broken IC, how laptop turns on? I mean, I've done 200 of them, so that's the thing. The reason I do the streaming is because I've already really... There's nothing left to cover. I mean, pretty much every single issue I've gone over. Like, literally every single issue. So if new machines come out that have different power structures, like let's say we start getting a bunch of touch bar ones in, there may be a point to doing some pre-recorded ones. But right now, I mean, everything I'm doing right now is something I've done 50 times over in a pre-recorded video. That thing needs to go in the ultrasonic cleaner. The problem is if I put it in the cleaner, I'm going to lose all my history and all my hints. I need my hints. I need to know where this damage was. Alright, now, even though it has all that corrosion, I have a feeling that once I clean that and I just remove a little bit of that junk from the BIOS area, I have a feeling that it may actually turn on, even though there's so much nasty crap elsewhere. So let's just test my theory. Again, I could be right, I could be wrong, I could be a complete idiot, but let's see. When you were singing along with the Hacko and the cable was disconnected. Oh. Sorry. Hey, you think they'll let me take that on an airplane? Any tips for SMD soldering without a hot air station? If you're looking to do 0603 and 0402 packages, I have a video where it's how to replace backlight fuse without a hot air station. Or how to replace backlight fuse with $10 soldering iron. If you find that video, you'll figure out how to do that. Now, if you want to replace, let's say, a chip with legs on it, here's what I would do. I would take something like the Xlite 175M, and I would cut the leg off each of the chips. I'd add flux. I'd add solder to each pad with a regular iron. I'd use wick to remove the solder from the pads. I would place the chip. I would then solder one of the pads. I would place the chip on top and then solder it in. Now it's soldered on one pad just to hold it in place. Now when you solder the rest of the pads to the pins of the chip, it's not going to move around. So Xlite 175M will let you cut the legs off the old chips. That doesn't apply to stuff like this because this is just too small. But if you're trying to do something like what I was doing when I was modifying my digital to analog converter, that's a good idea. Okay, we've also got that little BIOS resistor up there. I'm not going to trust that. Looks pretty nasty. Why not take high-res board view pictures of damage and then throw them into the ultrasonic? Because that's more... Because, see, then I have to take high-res pictures, and then I have to save them with the ticket, and then I have to look at them later. Or I could fix the board and then ultrasonic it, which is a far fewer steps and far simpler. I like to keep things simple. The simpler you keep it, the more likely you are to get more stuff done, have less brain fatigue, and have less screw-ups. The more complicated your setup, the more likely you can screw it up. If I take pictures, there's a chance that those pictures get lost, or I name them wrong, or I attach them to the wrong ticket. But if I fix the board right in front of me, get it to work, and then ultrasonic it, I only have to do one ultrasonic. I don't have to do two, because see, if I ultrasonic the board, then start cleaning it, fluxing it, and all that, then I have to ultrasonic it twice. Once to make it clean, then the second time to get rid of all the flux from my rework. So this not only is quicker, but it also has less possibility or chances for me making a mistake, which will lead me to look like an idiot. And as you can see, we have a fan spinning, because I was right! So check it out. See? Of all the areas of the board, the nastiest, filthiest looking areas were actually not the areas that were to blame. It was the area that had this teeny tiny little drop that hadn't even turned green yet that was causing the destruction. So now we're just going to go over those areas with a little bit of flux and just make them look all nice. Because again, this stuff, as nasty as it looks, it's not as bad as you think it is. Lewis, I have a Weller WH 900 sample on its way from Diane Miller. How is yours holding up? It still works. Your name sounds familiar. Ah, you're the PowerBook medic dude. Yeah. Still heating and blowing just as good as when you first started using it? This is one of the very few things that I have in my life that blows just as well now as it did when I first started using it. I'll say that much. Because, you know, usually the quality of the blowing goes down with time. Usually the frequency of the blowing goes down with time. You need maintenance. But this thing blows as well now as it ever will. I can say that with 110% certainty. And you know how I abuse it. I put it on the highest temperature, the highest airflow. Yes, I know, it's only Thunderbolt, but fuck, I'm not going to be that much of an asshole. Nobody uses Thunderbolt on a 13-inch air, but still, I feel an obligation to put it back together. Pro tip, you can use gasoline instead of cleaning fluid in your cleaner. No, don't do that. No, that's bad. You're all sick bastards. I was talking about the heating elements inside of my hot air SMD rework station from Weller. It's not my fault that all of you have dirty minds. Dirty, dirty minds from dirty, dirty viewers. Fuck. Too much solder on the center pad. Same mistake as always. What do you think about the Hacko 851? I have one. It's a piece of shit. There's just no way around it. It's just a piece of shit. And again, for all of you who are like, you know, for everybody who thinks, you've sold out because you have Amazon links, blah, blah, it's like, the reason I use Amazon links is because if I were sponsored by Hacko, I wouldn't be allowed to tell you that the 851 is an overpriced, worthless piece of shit that's barely even strong enough to solder heat shrink tubing into place, much less actual SMD rework. But it's a piece of crap. If you don't believe me, buy it. Now the 852, it's not amazing, but you can definitely get work done with it. I would use an 852 for this stuff. But the 851, like, no. There's no, you can't remove an LCD connector. You'll be spending 10 minutes to try to even get a backlight fuse off. It's a pile of shit. The Hacko 851 is completely worthless for the type of work that we do. Don't even bother. You'll just become frustrated. It'll be a total waste of your time. I haven't used the Quick 861DW yet because mine never showed up from my order from AliExpress. I haven't used it yet, but from what I hear, if you're looking for a cheap alternative, that one at least has some chance of not being a piece of shit. Whereas the 851, I can tell you from experience, you're not going to melt anything with it. You have a better chance of doing SMD rework putting a lighter in front of your mouth and blowing than you do of making money with a Hacko 851. I really don't know what the hell the point is of selling that. I mean, really. Like that, I genuinely don't get what they were trying to accomplish. I find it hard to believe that anybody actually used that product before it was ever sold. It's totally worthless. And like heat shrink tubing, if you're putting heat shrink around wires that you spliced, maybe the 851 is worthwhile. Maybe. I've used the Hacko FX601. I have never used it. I never heard of that number until you just told it to me. So, I was visiting another shop we're thinking of taking over a while back, and the guy used a jewelry cleaner with IPA in it, and the whole thing was semi-melted. He said he'd had it light up 2 to 3 times. That sounds like an idiot. Jewelry cleaner on motherboards, idiot. Flammable liquid in the ultrasonic, idiot. What about that Yuhua Station EEV blog reviewed? EEV blog and I have differences of opinions on the how effective they are, but I don't think it's so much of a difference in opinion as it is a difference in application. I don't think Dave is doing work on 10-layer boards, so for what he's doing, the station is fine. But then when I try to use that station on a 10-layer board that absorbs a lot of heat, that has a lot of heat dissipation, heat absorption, dissipation, and all that built into it, then it just becomes worthless. So it really is about application. That's why you can see people leaving good reviews for the station and then other people saying it's worthless. I should demonstrate that. I'm probably going to demonstrate that on a board, on one of those little things that you solder the BIOS chip to. Probably going to demonstrate it on that so you can see. Because I want to get across the temperature. Everybody asks me what temperature do you use, and I'm going to show you what happens when I use the same temperature soldering the same chip onto my BIOS programmer versus soldering it onto the actual motherboard itself. Because that's what you can't really give good advice on temperature. MobiFix says, so I said, and you've not figured out why I take it? So he tells me no, and I'm pointing to the IPA bottle going extremely flammable. That sounds like your standard repair industry person, sadly. Sounds very much like your standard repair industry jackass. I'm really excited about the right to repair bill because I think that if that passes, that there'll be more reason to get into this business because there won't be, because it will be legitimate. It's not going to be this business that's only for people that can't succeed elsewhere. Which, no offense to the few of you that are outside that minority, but right now this really is like the island of broken toys. You know, people don't want to get into a business where it's like, manufacturer, somebody came to me with something to fix. Can I buy a part to it? No. Okay, I'll just become a stockbroker or a chef or a real estate agent. Like, I want to see people coming into this field that are not idiots. I'm really excited about that. Like, I want to actually be proud of this business someday. But it's hard to be proud when, again, like what MobiFix is describing is not unique. It happens everywhere. Like, I wouldn't put it past the average person in this business right now to just take flammable liquid, put it into something, then put it into a fucking heater, and then not have any idea why it went on fire. Like, that doesn't faze me at all. It really doesn't. Now, you may wonder why I'm doing this if it's turning on. It's just window dressing. It's just, you know, window dressing. You don't want to leave stuff on the board that looks nasty, because it may work now, but it's not going to work a month or two from now. So you want to make it nice. Why don't you use an anti-static pad? Because I touch something that's grounded before I start working, and that's good enough for me. And I'm constantly touching stuff that's grounded throughout the course of my work. What do you think about the brand Yihua? Just from the name, my initial reaction is that it's shit. I'm not sure if I've even tried one before, but these Ayui, Yi, Yu, every single thing I've tried, one of those silly-ass names, has been a total piece of shit. And I just have a feeling that that's probably going to be a piece of shit. And just full disclosure, I have never used it. But every time I hear one of those silly names, it winds up being a piece of shit, and I'm just, call me crazy, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a piece of shit. But again, I have not used it. Have you used the JBC AD4300? I have not. What about the Hakko FX888? Does the Hakko FX888 work if I wanted to use my 2027 iron with it? If it does, buy it. If it doesn't, then don't buy it. If it's stuck using those shitty irons where the heating element is separate from the tip, then no. I refuse to go back to the dark ages. Fuck, I just lost a good capacity. Grr. You cannot make me go back to using soldering irons that don't have the heating element built into the tip. It's just not happening. This is all the window dressing. Again, this stuff works, but it's compromised, so it's got to go. Your stream is stuttering. This is actually YouTube's end today. Ain't me. My internet here is great. For once, it's not me. But there's really nothing I could do about it. Nothing to be done. So Lewis left-handed. No, I'm right-handed. That's why I keep hot air in the right hand. The positioning of the hot air is very important. This is how I get... No, putting the hot air in exactly the right place is very important. The component, I'll always get the component to slide into place. But see, watch. Like getting that left capacitor to slide where I want it. That's all hot air. See? Yeah, that's... If you're a righty... Oh God, I just pulled an Obama. Fuck. Do me a favor and just DDoS me if I ever do that again. But anyway, if you're right-handed, put the hot air station handle in your right hand, and the tweezer's in your left. The tweezer is not the important hand. The hot air is. I really hope the stream was buffering while I was pulling the Obama, so that there's no proof that I did that. I'm not left-handed. I'm not left wing. I'm not left anything. I use my right hand for the hot air station, even though I am a righty, which is, most people find odd. They consider that kind of weird. It's an alternative way of working, because usually if you're a righty, you put your tweezers in your right hand. So I would say that I'm closer to alt-right. Wait. Now there's going to be a gang of mob protesters outside of the store calling me a Nazi. I'm not a Nazi, I promise. I just keep my hot air station in my right hand while I'm working. Don't burn my store down or punch me in the face. Please. Please. Okay. Let's ultrasonic this so you can see what it looks like after ultrasonic. And of course, somebody said yesterday, Lewis, I work at Apple. Can you please stop removing JTAG connectors? So just for you. Just for you in case you're watching. Just in case you're watching. Bye-bye. JTAG. No JTAG. Fuck JTAG. I wonder if I can wick with this micro pencil. Can you wick with a micro pencil? Not well, but it does wick. Hey, Jessa from iPad Rehab is here. Everybody say hello, Grandma. Let's everybody wave. Jessa, you didn't get to see my setup. You have to see my setup. And by mine, I mean the thing that you're going to be carrying around Nebraska, along with the tripod, the mic stands, the 7-pound workstation laptop that I got to do streaming from, as well as doing all interviews. Ready? This is going to be awesome. It's kind of heavy, but luckily I have somebody strong to carry it all. Look at what we got here. Is this not cool? Tell me this is not cool. Tell me this is not cool. Tell me this is not fucking awesome. So, the only thing that's missing so far is the receiver. So I'm going to be getting a receiver that goes over here, so that this microphone that's on my head can go directly to the recording. This thing is the mic preamp that's going to set the levels, and you can also monitor the output through it. This thing over here is a tripod that turns itself into a monopod that you can just grab with one hand, like this, and just carry around. If you're smart, you're smarter than me, so you'll be able to make it straight. Like this. This thing keeps coming loose. Shitty mount. Anyway. How much does it weigh? You can kind of use it for deltoid exercises. Yeah, it's pretty light. It'll be a little heavier once it has all the Sennheiser mounts on it, but that's fine. So it's going to have a mount for the interview mic as well, and also a mount for this one. So, and we can choose whether we want this one, the interview mic. It's going to be cool. It's going to be great. Real News Inc. That Casey Neistat vibe. No Casey Neistat vibe. Don't you dare call this CNN. Paul Daniels, Mobile Fix, iPad. Anytime somebody compares me to CNN, I want you to ban them from chat. This is not CNN. This is Real News. I gotta get a t-shirt that says Real News Inc. Like when I called up the legislature and they asked, so when I asked for a press pass, they're like, what organization are you with? I'm like, Rossman Group News. It's like, oh, I'd never heard of that one. And it's like, yeah, it's, you know, it's bigger on the East Coast than it is in Nebraska, you know. You probably don't get that channel on your cable dial. I'm so full of shit. But, yeah, when it comes to that whole thing of how do you start? You just start. When you apply for the press pass, what do you say? You put your name plus the word news after it. Really, like if CNN can be news, then why can't I? Why can't I? Why can't I? Why do they have to make those tripods look so questionable? It's a pretty good tripod. Why'd you get rid of the JTAG connector? Send a middle finger to my friends. Mute. When it rains, it pours. One of these days, something is going to actually work here. He has been silenced by CNN. I have not. You're muted. Yes. I realized I was muted from the moment that I hit the mute button, said I'm muting, and then unplugged my microphone. Nothing ever works here. All right. Lewis, will you wear a tie? Have you ever seen me wear a tie? If Chris Long gets you-know-who to show up and testify, I will wear a tie. How about that? That's my that's my deal. Okay, so we ultrasonic the board. Just gonna start drying it off in the air filter. After the air filter the oven, and then I'll show you what it looks like, since a lot of people want to see what the before and after looks like. But that's my price. No JTAG equals Rossman was here. Yeah, that's my warranty sticker. You can't fuck with my warranty sticker. That's branding. Everybody says that that branding is important. You have to work with that early on, so people know who you are, what you stand for. So that, you know, it's your work is easily recognizable. Everything has to fit in. For me, removing JTAG connector. That's a core part of my branding. I asked Lewis last night to put on his cloak and wizard hat for the entire stream, and they didn't. No. All right. Okay. So I'm going to wait for the board to dry. So this is pretty boring. We're literally waiting for something to dry. You know that expression, it's as boring as waiting for paint to dry? I mean, this is, we're pretty much waiting for the paint to dry. Chris says, LOL, F you, Lewis. Listen, if you want, you want me to wear a tie, you tell Chris Long that he knows what the price is. He knows exactly what the price is. Are you going to start a real new channel for Real News Inc.? I think I'm going to publish everything to this one. I'm going to publish all the broadcasts, at least from Nebraska to this one. Like, I know that, I mean, I know you're not supposed to do that. It pisses people off, but I mean, people, I've gotten to a point where I don't particularly care. Like, people are going to be, I mean, people are going to be pissed off or unsubscribe anytime you do something slightly different, and like, who really cares? Who cares? Okay. Could you make some new videos about ThinkPads? You know, I ordered a P50 to stream from. I may do a review of that. I'm not really sure what people are going to be interested in or what people's questions will be. But it's also a year old, so I don't really know if that's that interesting. But I do want to go over the P50. Get one of your Fiverr guys to make a logo for Real News. Send it to me for a t-shirt. Ever electrocute yourself? The closest I ever got was on a Pultec equalizer. I think that was something around 340 or 360 volts. That was painful. That was legitimately painful. I never want to do that again. Like, that hurt. That was just... not doing that again. Oh. Okay, endpoint. So this is endpoint. What the hell did I just do? Where'd my chat window go? Here, chat window. Here we go. €1 from Philip C. Hi, Lewis. Bored with fan spin and sleep light, but no chime or backlight. Was a 2009 A1286 15-inch. I get .991 volts on V-core with With or without RAM? Well, that sucks. 2009? Does it beep without RAM? Tell me if it beeps without RAM. Has anyone here not been shocked by electricity? I don't think Jess has ever been shocked by electricity. The closest you got is when I tried putting the power supply on you. All right. We're going to dry the board off in the oven. And after that, we'll be done for today. I'll show you what it looks like, and we'll be set. No beep without RAM. Oh. You're not going to like my answer to that one. That's looking like either... That sucks. Yeah, that's either... That's like burned out... Yeah, burned out... That sounds like a fucked up MCP-79 to me. And you're never going to find that new. I feel bad. I can't refund your $1. That's not the answer that you wanted to hear. But yeah, that's sadly the truth. You're kind of screwed there, my friend. You're somewhat screwed there, my friend. That sounds like a burned out MCP. That uses an MCP-79, right? You said 2009, so that's not going to be using a PCH. Yeah, you're kind of fucked, I'm afraid. How much for a tissue you wiped your armpit with? 50 tokens. Lewis, do you know how to remove iCloud on iPhone? Yes. Bring the phone to the person who stole it from and ask them to do it for you. You'll probably have to apologize for stealing their phone, though. Lewis lists the specs of his P50. It's the Quadro 2000, the Core i7 6700 HQ, 32 gigs of RAM, 256 gigabyte SATA 3 SSD, 500 gigabyte hard drive, which I'll be swapping out with a 960 gigabyte SATA SSD that I have at home, 15-inch 1080p screen, $1,100. Lenovo factory outlet. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. Oh, well, another one for the parts bin. Thank you for your... You can stop paying me. You've donated already. $1 from iPad Rehab. Show us how to remove iCloud lock from iPhone at board level right now. No. No. Not only that, but I'm removing your moderator status. That's what you get. That's what you get for trolling. You are no longer a mod. No, that's mean. Give you back. What do you use for your oven? Hamilton Beach. It's 250 Fahrenheit, which is not going to melt solder at all, but it's just going to get rid of the alcohol in the liquid. So it dries off faster. I've got it from Kmart for like 30 bucks or something. It's just used for drying out boards. It's not for reflowing or anything like that. Mofo. Alright, I think that board is almost done in the oven. Pretty. Not very pretty, but good enough. I probably should have kept it in there a little longer. Works though, so I'm happy. So that's it for today. As always, I hope you learned something. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everybody who has clicked on one of the Amazon links below to buy something. That is it for today, and I will see you next time. And as always, I hope you learned something. Question. Some form of currency from Ridiculum and Pedis. Are there any sub $200 2-in-1 stations that are in utter crap? I don't even know of a $200 hot air station that is not ultra crap. Buy a used Quick 861DW, probably too new to be used, and then a used Hacko FX951. That is a 2-in-1 station. That is a 2-in-1, and put one on top of the other. But yeah, time for me to get out of here. So that's it. I'm gonna may walk around and play with my little real news setup here, liking the real news, and that's it for today.